Nation, Main Event TV, aka Me TV, aka the ambassador, because I put it like this, there's nothing to vote about. Nothing at all. I'm the ambassador, aka the Ghost of Christmas Future. And I say this because for years and years, I kept coming to y'all saying, this is what's going to happen if you keep acting this way. This is your ending if you act this way. And since it is Christmas in July, this is my present to you. Okay? Let's get it started. FGC, I am so disappointed in what I've seen in these previous couple of weeks. I say this because I know a lot of you like to say, well, the Smash community, they're not part of us. We don't like their behavior. Look, I don't like their behavior either. I don't. But understand, you are still a community. They are part of your community. It's a fighting game, party game, whatever you want to call it. They've made it competitive. It is a fighting game at this point. Accept it. That's all you have to do. Accept it. I say this now because you don't have to like it, but you gotta accept it. And it gets to a point where we start playing this divide and conquer bullshit. Now, that's the childish part, okay? Because you should know whatever sub-genre or whatever game you play, because we've seen this for years. Oh, well, I play Street Fighter. We're bigger than you. Well, I play Under 9 Birth. Well, you ain't nothing. And then as soon as Evo lifted it up, oh, congratulations. Now you're part of the group, the Cool Kids Club. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. This is what we call childish bullshit from grown-ass men. That's what it is. That's just what it is. Okay? And as far as I'm concerned, that has to end. When somebody is in trouble, all right, a certain genre or a certain game, it doesn't even matter if it's FGC at this point. When you see a community in trouble, you try and help them. That's what you do, all right? That's what makes us a community overall, not just FGC, overall. And it seems like some of you still haven't got that fucking message. It's disappointing to see that everyone sat back and did nothing. The Smash community tried to police each other. They did. But then what started happening? We started seeing people who have personal grudges use cancel culture to try and get rid of them. Nah, we're not having that. If you try to start something because you have a personal grudge against somebody, it's time for you to go. Adios too. Because you're part of the problem. But I'm just very upset with the fact that we've seen this over a couple weeks. This video actually was supposed to come out last week. But I waited until there was some news to see if anything was going to happen because people kept getting accused. And damn if they weren't getting accused more. So I sat back and waited. Here's the sad part though. The media, nothing. They only aimed for the big fish. They weren't trying to tell the victim stories. The media, again, whether it's your favorite YouTuber or your favorite player or whatever, didn't say shit. You got people out here who keep saying they're the ambassador. What did they do for you? What did they do for you? Huh? They ain't tackle no serious issues. We've talked about this for years and years and years. When it comes to a serious issue, motherfuckers scatter like roaches. It's crazy. But, like I said, Smash community is trying to get themselves back together. Everybody who's outside of the FGC says the FGC is done. I don't believe that. Not at all. All right? I think it's time to destroy it, the current phase of it, and rebuild. Make it better. Because that's always what it's been about. Being better. And when I tell you about this, y'all get all bent out of shape and shit. Oh, who are you? I don't know you. Blah, 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 blah. That's all the fuck y'all do. Y'all get so fucking emotional when it comes to me saying something that's for the better. To help you. That you decide to label me as a bad guy. Know I say that? Fuck you. It's that simple. That's just that simple. Fuck you. All right? I'm still here, right? Every tactic you have tried against me, whether it's trolling me, which, come on, I've been doing this too long. You ain't doing shit new. We're gonna flag down your video like that shit ain't been done before. Y'all have nothing original at all that I haven't seen through my years of YouTube. So do yourselves a favor and listen for once instead of just getting reactionary and trying to curse me the fuck out and all this other shit. All right? Or going to get some guy and they got to go get their PR people and all this shit. Like I said, if you really want to talk to me, then you will talk to me. But if you're going to go through a third party to come and try to get me, you can fuck off too. So, with that said, I want to give credit to Dark Wizzy. Because for those who don't know, Dark Wizzy has put a Smash players ban list together. All right? However, it doesn't have Zero on it yet, even though we know that Zero is part of the problem as well. I called that on Twitter before he even said this shit, because I could smell that shit a mile away. And his fans came at me. He was like, no, you're not giving him the benefit of the doubt. No, because the way he's acting, if you're reading what he's saying, of course he's guilty. He was holding out. But, like I said, Leffen, I want to give Leffen credit for a comprehensive timeline of smash allegations, all right? And also, I've put in here, just to let you know, about D1, Nero, Katero, Senpai, and you know what? This is the one that really bothers me. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Anti. There's something fucking wrong with this dude. Now, I've been telling my people the most D1 and Anti, there's something wrong with them. And I know it for a fact. I remember when we was in MomoCon and these dudes was acting a fool, and I was looking at them like, what's wrong with these dudes? You know what I mean? They weren't touching people, but just the way they were acting was kind of weird. I was just like, nah, something ain't right. Something's not right about these dudes. You know? But now we know why. So, with that said, I want y'all to understand this weird phase that Anti is going through. That's the big one, all right? The things he has done is absolutely ridiculous, all right? So, I'll let you see it now because he's saying he's not part of the Smash community anymore, so you can unfollow him, all this other bullshit, blah, 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 blah. So, let's look at that. Yes, these people are still fucking streaming. That's right, still streaming. And it's funny because they were kicked out of the community and they just think they're just gonna walk off. They're just gonna walk off like, okay, we got a slap on the wrist because we're out of community. Motherfucker, what you understand is that you broke the law. Do you understand that? There's more consequences than just, oh, I'm getting kicked out of the community. All right? But when he confessed that he did it, he took it down. That's right, he took it down. But here's the thing, Anti. You thought you were slick, but people caught you and they made sure to archive it. Then Anti got caught trying to rebrand himself. And this is what I don't understand. Because why are y'all still following these people? Why? If he confessed to doing this shit, why are you still following him? I don't want to hear he's a good person. Or he's not. Obviously not. This is the shit I'm talking about. I've talked about this before, about this groupie type of mentality. Not just you can give a player's props and be like, yo, good work, respect, and keep it moving. No, y'all gotta hang on their nuts so fucking hard. If anybody say something against them, you the meat shield. You the meat shield. That's bullshit, and you know it's bullshit. This groupie mentality has to stop. But like I said, he tried to rebrand himself, which is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. So let's look at that.
My head, where my head is at, and like how your people, like how Nairo, D1, Katara, everyone is in good shape. Like everyone is just like, we understand that like it was like a July 2nd thing. Everyone just came out against us July 2nd, just put all their info out, and it's something going on behind the scenes. You know what? Notice how all these Twinlongers, they have a connotation at the end of it saying like, I idolize him, he abuses power. They're trying to shift the power. And notice how there's 150 fucking allegations, but 0 police reports. Isn't that funny? Think about that. Probably more than 150 allegations. Probably like 200 allegations, but not a single police report. I think the only police report is Senpai and Puppe, but that's like the only one. Like, why are we not reporting this shit to the police? Like, let's fucking take it to court. Why is it not being taken to court, bro?
And just like that, regardless what happened, regardless of confessing, he's saying, we good. We out here chilling. It don't matter. We good. Like I said, no conscience at all. None. But he said, hey, let's bring the lawyers in. You're probably going to regret saying that because after your confession, they got you. You really want to go to court with it? Do you really want to go to court with it? He's like, well, you know, no one's been arrested. Well, that's the thing. Y'all should be arrested. But maybe it's time we change that too. Maybe it's time we have a hierarchy that can do those type of things. We'll talk about that later, okay? But with that said, he's sitting here saying that he's doing that. I try to tell y'all, 0 is still holding out. 0 was holding out on his streams and everything so he can collect revenue before he decided, to block, to stop the channel or whatever. He was just sitting there taking money because idiots were still watching these people. They were still watching them. Again, groupies, I don't get you. I really don't understand. At the end of the day, all we do is push buttons. Y'all understand that, right? But with that said, now Zero has been released from Facebook Gaming, Tempo Storm. He's for sexual misconduct with minors. Yes, with minors. And his Twitch account has now been suspended. Now, here's the thing I have with that. So, you know what? Let's show that first so it's backed up so you can see the proof, all right? Let's do that now. Afterwards, Boss comes out and says, hey, you can't ban certain people that you don't like. Again, people who think they're assuming that they did something, and also others who are holding grudges. Again, if you're holding a grudge against somebody for cancel culture, get out. You can be banned too. But Boss says that you shouldn't get on those guys, the one guy that they was trying to ban, but he's the real culprit of things. And he actually admits it. So let's look at that real quick.
It's my punishment. I've done it. Like I said, guys, Hayden D, aka Taj, has had nothing to do with anything. If you guys are hating on Hayden D or Taj, just stop. You're wasting your time. You're doing it for no reason. If you're banning this guy from your venues, just stop. Because I'm the real culprit here. It's just been really hard to just come out and say after all this time. But yeah, that was brief, guys. Brief moment. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and upload this just so the whole community, knows how shady I am and whatnot. And yeah.
Should you feel bad for him? Hell no. Why? Because Daylight Bianco came out and said the reason Boss is saying this is because he stole thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands of dollars. And he said, remember when it happened? And list all these people so that everybody remembers this shit. So do I feel bad? No. Today, I told you, today, there is no remorse. There is no retreat. No surrender. There's no white flags coming up over here. All right? But understand, all right, this has to stop. This type of attitude has evolved into this. That's what it is. It evolved into it. Y'all got away with a little bit of stuff. Then the ball just kept rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And what I mean about that is, let's talk about racism in FGC. That's right. Let's start off with Filipino Champ because we know what he did on his, on his Twitch. We saw that. Everybody saw what happened in that video and how it was disgusting. And then afterwards, he put out this tweet. And when he got banned, we know that he got banned. What did he do? What did he do? Has anybody keep him up with him? What did he do? He tried to drag others down with him. He was like, why am I banned for saying that? But Max said the N-word. You know what I mean? And he started pointing to all these other people. And I'm like, yo, his camp, and for those who don't understand, his camp started naming names in the thread. He was saying that Justin Wong usually drops the N-bomb. He was saying Chan usually drops the N-bomb. Like, these people this is what they were saying. So I had to turn to some people and was like, yo, did this really happen? And they was like, yes it is, because I usually watch them and they do it. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to get on Filipino Champ for that, you got to get on Justin Wong, your so-called ambassador. You got to get on Chen, who everyone likes. You got to get on a number of people who have done this. Do you understand that? Zero tolerance today. It ends today. So as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to this scene, he's going to have to be squeezed a little, if you ask me. Because if you're going to be a rat, you might as well be a rat all the way. All right? Because mind you, he wouldn't have said shit about all these other people if he wasn't banned. It wasn't like it just came out of nowhere. Okay, you know what, guys? I heard enough. I've done enough. I've seen enough. I need to let this out. No, that's not what he did. He waited till he was banned and was like, all right, if I can't do it, nobody can do it. That's his mentality. That's a bitch mentality. But if you go and let the record show and all this other shit come out, now we got to start looking at the players, right? That's what we got to start doing. But with that said, all right, now we're trying to hear that, was a Game Rant. They're talking about a Marvel vs. Capcom 4. And everyone was like, where the fuck are they getting this information from? So let's see that real quick to show that, you know, they actually made this article. Okay, it's a rumor right now. I know that Marvel vs. Capcom fans could be really hype about this, right? But it's a rumor. And then when you look into the article, how did they find this out? Because F-Champ told them this. Are you fucking serious? First off, he gets banned from shit, all right? Permanent ban from Capcom, banned all around the world, and now you're going to give this motherfucker relevance again? That's what you're going to do, Game Rant? Fuck out of here. If anything, you can go to Game Rant. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Well, we're gonna get our information no matter what it is. Like I said, then why didn't you do the most responsible thing? And after his crew had said that, his camp had said that, squeeze them to get more information. So you can have an actual article. But no, Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Are you fucking serious? All the serious shit going on in our community, it should tell you that the media outlets have not done their job. They have not covered this the way it needs to be covered. And just to let y'all know, the links that I'm talking about, all these other people, yeah, it's going to be in the description field for you. That's right. When it comes to Smash community and everyone that was hurt there, yeah, links will be in the description field for you. Because they deserve to have their say. It's absolutely disgusting that this is happening, as far as I'm concerned. But we have even more problems. Now, FGC, you're probably pissed at me right now because I'm giving you the truth. And that's understandable. Sometimes you don't like to hear the truth. But then you have people who are flat out attacking you that you haven't seen probably. For those who don't know, and this is where I'm going to come to bat for y'all, all right? Fan of service, where the fuck this clown's name is, the voice of fan service, that's his name, all right, comes after you and says, DOA got you beat, FGC, we've already won. Yeah, for real, this is what he said. Who the fuck are you? Who are you to say, oh, DOA's already beat you, blah, blah, blah. Look, let's be real here. I'm not going to spend too much time on this clown, all right? Number one, all you do is get on Twitter and bitch about titties. Maybe because you haven't even had some yourself. Maybe you haven't grabbed a pair and put your face in some. I don't know what it is, all right? Number two, I know you're trying to say, well, I'm just going by the certain standard of, I don't want to hear it. We know you were going by a certain standard of time of line of other, another company. We get it. But here's the thing. King of Fighters already beat you to it, bitch. So as far as I'm concerned, shut the fuck up and keep it moving. That's your problem. You get too big. A lot of these people get too big at the fucking mouth and can't understand. You have lack of knowledge on what's going on. King of Fighters already beat you to that. Not DOA, King of Fighters. And they've been doing it since 94. With that said, I know that we know the situation going on with Mr. Wiz. We know that, right? We know that he's a piece of shit. But this is the striking part that we know. I mean, because we all heard, okay, he did this and he has to be, he stepped down and Evo's going to do all this stuff. We'll get into that in a minute, okay? But I think you need to hear this from Mike Watson, all right? Because this is what he said about Mr. Wiz during that time.
There's so many fucking stories to tell, and this guy, let me tell you, he used to pay fucking little boys tokens to jump in the pool. Now you tell me, what is the story behind asking a kid to do something like that? Why would you ask a fucking child? We're talking like a kid. There's a kid named Token Boy. This kid was I don't know, I want to say 13, 14, and we were 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. He's giving these kids tokens to take off like their shirt and jump in the pool and shit, dude. Like, what the fuck is up with that shit? Dude, you can add, there's a prominent member from the FGC. I'm not going to say names. There's a prominent member from the FGC that everybody grew to love that's no longer here. You should know who I'm talking about, but I don't need to fucking bring it up. He asked Wizard for E3 tickets. Thank you, Mike Infinite. He asked Wizard for E3 tickets. Wizard in turn said, do 25 naked fucking jumping jacks and I'll give you tickets. Who in the fuck asked someone to fucking do shit like that? Like, come on, man. That shit ain't fucking cool.
I want to thank Mike Watson for bringing that to the table for us so that we know. So we know prominent names are out there, but we have even more information because Gustavo Romero, I believe that's who it is, Gustavo Romero? Yes, Gustavo Romero says, you know, Mike Watson has been vocal about this for years, about Mr. Wiz, and yet it was ignored, all right? But he said, don't be fooled, all right? A lot of prominent figures have known about this and did nothing. That's right, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the tweet right now. He said, and are just now barely cutting ties with him. So I'm going to show you the tweet real fast because we need to address this. I also want to thank Gustavo Romero for putting that out there as well. Because now, FGC, you got to start looking at each other. Start looking at the people that you used to praise. Let's talk about this. I mean, high prominent figures. High prominent figures. So you got to start looking at your TOs. You got to start looking at your high-ranked players. You got to start looking at the staff. You got to start looking at all these people that make this go. All right? And now they need to be questioned. All of them at this point need to be questioned. You let this go for so long. You kept your mouth shut for so long, and you knew it was happening. And then when people called it out, you just ignored it. That damn near makes you an accessory. You understand that? An accomplice. Because not saying anything pretty much means, as we all know, that you're okay with it. All right? That's what it means. You're just as guilty. If you knew about it, you should have said something. It took all of this for years and years and years to get rid of Mr. Wizzy. Now, for those who remember, back in 2012 or 13, I said he should have been fired. But nah, Vent, you just a hater. Blah, 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 blah. That's all it ever is with you fucking people. Instead of just looking at the facts. But again, it takes certain people to say it, and that's what you mess with. All right? Well, I'm not going to believe him, but if he says the same thing, I'll listen to him. That's bullshit. The truth is the truth, regardless where it comes from. You understand that? That's why I don't fuck with a lot of y'all, man, because y'all act fucking stupid. And y'all supposed to be grown men. You always want to be respected, right? Start acting like you want the respect. Earn that shit. It's hard to just sit here and know that there were so many prominent people that you or I probably stood next to, and you're thinking, oh, this guy's nice, oh, he's cool, and knew about the shit. Think about that. But as we know, Evo has decided to change the management style up. I mean, first off, Evo is the first time it's been canceled in 2 years straight. That, to me, is a record. All right? But they're going to change the management up, and, that's fine. But we got a real big problem about that. And let's talk about it right now because someone calls out Evo. That's right. So let's take a look. Lord Schmecky. That's right. I want to give that person also a shout out due to the fact that this information is coming from everywhere. And it's funny that your fave could never do this shit or decided to do this shit. So I will put it like this. The fact that they're bringing guys, I know some of you guys are going to say, well, these guys are in good hands because they were doing battle at the, at the Bay or whatever. But Riot Games, do you understand? These guys, they've moved on and now they're in Riot Games. Does anybody know what's going on with Riot Games? If you don't know about the sexual harassment, lawsuits that they had to deal with because they weren't, they weren't respecting women, they had to pay a lot of money. As you can see, $10 million to us, everywhere, you gamers, that's a lot of money, That's a lot of money. But 1.7% of the 2018 revenue, that's how much they paid it. That's how much it was. It was like a drop in the ocean to them. Why is that? Anyone want to know? Do you really want to know? Because Riot has a company that it seems like a lot of people don't like backing them, which is Tencent. Tencent is so strong that they only, what was it, 5% of Blizzard? 5% of Blizzard. Remember what happened not too long ago when they banned a guy for saying, free Hong Kong, the player? Y'all remember that? That's what happens when it's only 5% in control. Riot Games is 100%, they're 100% in control of Riot Games. So what does that tell you? It's takeover. Yes, more takeover. And you want to know why it's takeover? Because they have something to do with the Global Esports Union. If y'all don't know, they own the bitch. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see that very well because it's kind of small because of, doubled up tweets. But I want to let y'all know real quick, all right, that Tencent, again, is backing the Global Esports Federation, okay? They're backing them. Not to mention, they have 100% stake in Riot Games. They have 40% stake in Epic Games. They have 5% stake in Activision and in Ubisoft. So it goes to show you, takeover is coming. That's what it is. And you know damn well that that's not called for. You know what they do. So as far as I'm concerned, you better start thinking and thinking fast. But with all this information going on, we have a quitter amongst our ranks. That's right, a quitter. But those who don't know, when it came down to this, Jabali decides, look, if this doesn't get better than 2021, I'm bailing out. He's going to eject Ejectocito, cuz that's what he's getting ready to do. For those who do not understand, look, it's a bitch move. You want to know why? It's one thing to go out on your own terms when things is good and say, look, I'm going to have my swan song and I'm going to gracefully bow out. But when shit is bad right now and you going to eject Ejectocito on us, you know what that means? That means you're a bitch. It means you quitting. Dog, you married to the game. You married to the game regardless, all right? That's what you are. It doesn't mean in hard times you get to quit and when it's better you come back. That's not what it means. Through thick and thin. When people need you the most, this is when you need to be there. But it seems like that don't matter, right? All of a sudden it's a time issue and we're not doing anything and blah, blah. Let me make this very well straight for you guys, all right? For all this time that you have seen in this pandemic, right? There was no sports playing. The FGC had a chance to step up to the plate and knock it out the park. You had your chance. You did. And you dropped the ball. That's what happened. You dropped the ball. Y'all should have took this shit over as far as I'm concerned. Some places, like I said, ESPN was running 2K tournaments just to make ends meet because of their bad contract with the NBA. They had to do that. But if y'all would have put on shows, and I mean shows, weeklies, and really get serious coverage, y'all could have been bigger. This was y'all year. This could have been everything you wanted. And y'all dropped the ball. Dropped the ball. It is the biggest fuck up I've ever seen. Ever. I cannot believe that, we got people who want to quit now because they don't like what's going on. That's bullshit. All right? Now, of course, I'm sure Jabali got over that. Maybe it was an emotional moment. Maybe. All right? But you can't decide to fucking quit during the bad times. That you can't do. That's when we have to all look at each other and say, you know what? We'll get through this and we'll help each other. But so much for unity, right? Because, again, y'all are only worried about yourselves and y'all are only worried about, and like I said again, divide and conquer. No unity. And y'all adults. It's sad. And with this going on, we have other players who are asking where all the real people are at. Did this man just ask where all the real people at? Real people? You gotta be kidding me. Hold on. Y'all got rid of real people. Remember, y'all wanted to kiss ass to a bunch of actors and a bunch of players who wanted to act like they were wrestling heels. That's what y'all wanted. Thuggery. That's what you wanted. You didn't want real people. Remember that? Now all of a sudden all this shit going on. Hell, we need real people. Nah. That's not how it works. You can't get rid of real people and then decide when you need them, you're going to bring them out. You're going to, you know what I mean, call on them. That's not how it works. If you ain't going to respect them right, they're going to walk off. That's what happens. And say, fuck you. And people even today, they were like, yo, you really doing this video? Fuck them, man. They don't deserve you. That's what people were saying to me the entire time I was gearing up for this video. They don't deserve you, man. Fuck all of them. They deserve it. You need to just make a video just laughing at them. And I was like, nah. There needs to be more taken care of than this. So I was looking out for y'all. Even though y'all give me shit, I was looking out for y'all. And well, no one asked you. Well, guess what? Ain't no one doing it like me. So yeah, no one did ask me, but understand real quick that your favorites, Max or whoever, they ain't doing it like me. Because they don't get the fucking heart to do it like me. They don't got the spine to do it like me. They ain't got the balls to do it like me. That's why you need me. Because I'm not worried about what, I may be thrown off by my sponsor. Oh, I got to make sure my money's okay. Nah, you don't have to worry about that with me. I tell it how it is, and I've always told it how it is. Just because I'm being brutally honest doesn't mean you need to get mad. Take it for what it is. It's tough love. And it seems like a lot of y'all don't understand that. It's absolutely just ridiculous. So, where are the real people at? Y'all got rid of them. They gone. You can't ask for them back. Nah. They tried to tell you. They don't want to listen. That's what happened. All right? Same people who came into my fucking, my comments. Well, we never saw you play at such and such, and I never saw you play at this place. Well, I knew about it, but I didn't like it there. Therefore, you're not credible. Get the fuck out of here. Just because you weren't there to see me play, get the fuck out of here. But you know about it? All right, fuck out of here. This is the type of discussions grown men are having with me. What do y'all run like an IQ of what, 10? The fuck is wrong with you? And they want to get mad at me and talk about, well, we going to go to event hubs and say some shit. Go say your shit. And when stuff came out, what was it? They said to me, yo, Event, what you have to say about this? And I'll tell you what I said like I told everyone else, all right? I don't respond or chase roaches. Simple as that, all right? But since y'all need some more news, let's give you some more news, okay? Since you didn't know this. Evo, some of you people who still love Evo, all right? For those who know, it'll be in the description field for you. Evo has mistreated seating. That's right. I know a lot of y'all, some of y'all can say, well, no shit, they were giving people favoritism. I mean, we had to wait 10 minutes. If I waited 10 minutes, I was going to be banned. But if a popular player comes in, he got all the time in the world, do what he wants, and still play. Yeah, I know. I know y'all know that. But this is purposely mistreating seeds. They did this. Link in the description field. So for them to say, well, we're going to get better at Evo, because we got this and this, you got Riot Games, Tencent, and a bunch of misseedings. Sit the fuck down. Jesus Christ. But you know what? I don't want to keep going back because I do want to move on to our next topic. All right? Shall we talk about, and I told y'all this shit before, and y'all didn't want to fucking listen. So let's do it this way because I got facts behind me. Fed Street Gamers. That's right. Fed Street Gamers. No. Fed Street Gamers. They the fucking feds. I tried to tell y'all before that the streets don't claim them. They came through during the gentrification process. And they act the same fucking way too. But y'all was quick to jump to their aid. Y'all was quick to put the barrier and the shields up for them. The riot shields. Who are you? We're going to try and cancel you. Now y'all about to look fucking stupid. Because for those who don't know, they teamed up with the U.S. Army on July 4th to bring a Smash Tournament and Rocket League. Let's look at that real quick. Now I know y'all see that, but you know what? Wait. Let's look even closer in that corner. I just want to do that real close so you can see that I'm not lying here, okay? Real close. All right, here we go. I keep telling y'all this shit, all right? They not Philly. They not supported here. You may have one big gun who supports you, but that doesn't mean you on the list, motherfucker. All right? Understand, again, the streets don't claim you. You came through from the suburbs. No one gives a fuck about you. And the thing is, if you were Philly, you wouldn't have teamed up with the U.S. Army. You want to know why? Because the U.S. Army has a tendency to come to Philly and try to recruit kids at 13 years old. It happened in 2009 and got shut down in 2010. Anybody who was in the game scene at that time knew that shit. Don't believe me? Here's the proof. No, it doesn't just stop there, people. When they shut it down in 2010 because they were trying to run like Call of Duty simulators to get people to join the army, kids, the enlist, what happened? The protesters came out and got them shut down in 2010. However, they considered it a success because they got 236 kids to sign up through their simulator. Yeah, all right? Now, I'm sure you've seen the headlines already not too long ago about the U.S. Army and Twitch and things like that, and we have to get into this. There's such a good reason for this because, like I said, you've got now Twitch channels who are now deciding, hey, we're going to let you run your army stuff on Twitch, but they found out they were giving out fake giveaways. That's right. They were giving out fake giveaways, and they had to stop that. But I want to show you some more proof on this U.S. Army and what they do. So that's right. The U.S. Army decided with their esports team to decide to take it to Twitch. So they had a number of popular Twitch people run this game for them. And, you know, the fake giveaways, you click on the link and the fake giveaways took you to a recruitment page. But to have influencers do this so you can get into the U.S. Army, you know what I mean? They're esports, whatever. It wasn't no fucking esports. They bullshit. For those who know who follow me on Twitter, and I say this, y'all know for the last couple of weeks, I've been challenging the U.S. Army. Soon as this shit happened with the feds, with Fed Street Gamers, I said, no, we're not having this. Because you're not going to pull what you did in Philly back in 2009, 2010. We're not having that shit. All right? I've talked about this before. Do we need to talk about EA and Medal of Honor when they decide to give you real gun pamphlets so you can buy a real gun of the gun that you play with in the game? Should we talk about that? Uh-huh. If you haven't done your research or even a history of, videos or something like that, and y'all want to get on me, I say do your research first or shut the fuck up. It's that simple. These videos exist already. So when people say, yo, you've been telling them how it is for a long time, that is the reason. Okay? But there's more. Yeah. Like I said, Twitch decided, all right, look, we got to stop you from doing the fake giveaways. Okay? Got to stop doing the fake giveaways. Army was like, all right, cool. We're going to stop doing the fake giveaways. Mind you, I'm challenging them all the time. Them and their community manager. We're going to talk about community managers later, all right? But the community manager just last night locked her, account. So can't nobody get to her. The U.S. Army was banning people from their Twitch because they were asking about war crimes. There's a lot of things that are going on. And like I said, things that I'm saying, I will have the links for you in the description field. Not just this, in the description field for you. So if you think I'm lying, all right? But anyone with a right brain and a right mind knew not to fuck with the Army, especially here in Philly. Everybody knew that shit because of what they pulled years ago. And then your mans in them that y'all love, that y'all came to defend, just fucked y'all over. How's it feel? How's it feel? I want to know. And they'll say, no, it's not their fault. Yes, it is. Because they should have known better. But they haven't been in the scene long enough to know better. So when someone knows more than that shit, you show some fucking respect. But what I find funny even more about this is that Shoe on Head decides, oh shit, this is a big deal. The U.S. Army just got caught on Twitch and they did stuff in the 4th of July. And I came out and was like, yo, you need to give me some credit on this because I've been doing this because I live in Philly. I've been doing this for years. The fuck you mean? It's a surprise. To me, it's not. To her, she's just like, oh, this is huge news. If you don't believe me, this is what she said. As you can see, I was just like, yo, just give me my credit. And she wouldn't talk to me. You know what I mean? Not a, my bad or anything like that. Hey, you got more information on this? Let me see what's going on. You know what I mean? No, what she do? Send it to a bigger YouTuber and decide not to talk to me. Other people came, because I was done that today. Other people came in and was like, yo, you need to give Mans his credit. He been talking about this shit for years. And like I said, you would think that you would want to collaborate or trade information so that you would have more knowledge of what's going on. But she's a dumbass. That's what she is. So I'm going to devote one line to Shoe on Head, and then after that, adios out of my video, okay? The reason they call you Shoe on Head is because you look up at the grooves of people higher than you and you bootlick them. That's what it is. Out of here. Now, let's keep going, shall we? Because the U.S. Army, for those who don't know, all right? Amid the backlash of this whole thing, the U.S. Army has decided to retreat from Twitch. That's right. And not just the U.S. Army, the U.S. Navy as well. Because they was running hustle too. They was running game too. Ain't that some shit? We found that out later. So the U.S. Army was only there to put on a front, to act like they were actually, playing games just to get you to recruit. The same thing they did in 2009, 2010, all right? And people were like, yay, we beat them, it's over. No, if you haven't noticed by now, every 10 years they pop back up. It's like the fucking Power Rangers when Rita Repulsa gotta come. Here they come the fuck again. This time we make sure they stay down so they don't come back. That's what you're supposed to be doing. We have so many problems in this area of people that we need to talk about this as well, okay? I want to talk about a one King Buffalo who goes by now, what's his fucking name? WXLF, which is obviously Wolf, but it says Gang, GANGEX, all right? That's what he goes by now, but he used to go by King Buffalo. He was in Washington, all right? So, for those who don't know his story, all right, where he got to where he stole $8,000 out of art commissions that he said he'd do so that he can do his esports career. That's right. So if y'all don't look, I'll put it like this. Inside the description field will be the actual link that will send you to download the entire packet. All the people all the people that he screwed over, how much money he owes, everything. It's all there for you. I will put it in there in the description field. And guess where he's been? Back down there at Fed Street Gamers as well. Do you not see what's going on here, people? He used to live in a gamer house, didn't he? And they was bodying the shit out of him and saying, look, if you leave now, we take everything from you. Your equipment, your lifestyle, everything. Your name, everything. That's what he gambled on. Out of all the money he took, that's what he gambled on. But for those who believe me, this is what I believe his YouTube looks like. And I believe it's on his Twitter as well. But this is what his YouTube looks like. He should have known better. He's an adult. That goes for a lot of you. You should know better. You're adults. But you want to try and run this game, this con, you're going to get caught. That's simple. Y'all understand that, right? So as far as I'm concerned, at this point, look, man, he's from Washington, and some people have already been alerted through him because we were talking to them on Twitter, and they were like, yo, we got to get him out of here. I'm just making it very well known right now in the FGC overall. This guy needs to be exposed. Like I said, the link will be in the description field for his stuff, okay? So you don't think I'm lying, okay? I think I've shown y'all a lot of shit today. So I don't want to see how anybody can be opposed to what the fuck I'm saying. But I have stuff still for you. That's right. Like I said, Christmas in July. So you get even more gifts. For those who don't know, we should start we've done it the way that you guys have wanted to do this in the FGC. How did that work for you? How it worked? Didn't work so well, did it? Nah. Had a lot of complaints. Nah. So I think it's time that we nail down some blueprint. So at this point, AKA the blueprint, if you want to go there. But let's go. Ready? So, general rules from now on for the FGC. We're going to break this down. It's going to be broken down for everybody, okay? In certain, categories. Let's start with general rules. First off, anyone under 21 needs to be accompanied by a parent or guardian. I only say 21 is because some people like to have alcohol at their places. You know what I mean? That's all. If there was no alcohol, I would say 18. You know what I mean? That you can use that a little loosely. You know what I mean? But if you're going to have alcohol, you have to be carded. All right? You have to. Not only that, if you are a lightweight, and some of you motherfuckers are some serious lightweights drinking, you're out of here. All right? Adios. Now, let's move on to the next one. Like I said, it is up to a TO's discretion whether, they're going to have drinks or whatever, serve whatever at their place. So they should tell you ahead of time whether there's going to be alcohol there or not. So to go by the rule 18 or 21. That's how I see it. I think that's pretty fair, don't you think? I think that's fair. But let's keep going. TOs and employees need to have a background check. All right? Background check before anything else happens. This is the problem we've seen as of late. We will get into some minute because, like I said, the Smash community, they had friends in other high places who were employees and they let shit slide. You know what I mean? Everyone needs a background check. We're going to get real. Y'all adults, right? We're going to get real. You're probably crying already about this. We're going to get real. Y'all want to be respected as adults. It's time to act like adults. Okay? Security must be present at tournaments because y'all swore at one point, thuggery, I'm so hardcore, blah, blah, blah. And then the Madden shootings happened, and then y'all was like, we need security, please, please, please. Which one are y'all about? Which one are y'all about? So yes, security at said, venue. Pop-offs. We talked about this before. Pop-offs are allowed, all right? As long as there's agreement beforehand. And I use this loosely. TO's decision as well. I use this loosely because let's be real here, all right? There's people who are not okay with that. When I mean pop off, yeah, you won, that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. But when you get up and you start fucking pushing people and shit, there's a problem there. There's a fucking problem. You don't know that person. That person will haul up and punch you in the fucking face. You don't know certain people and what they go through. You know what I mean? Which is lack of diversity as well. All right? We can talk about that near the end. I don't give a shit. But the point is, this is a problem. And it needs to be handled correctly. And all these TOs, and I want to make this as well, TOs, all right? Especially ones who are trying to quit on us, all right? Y'all made y'all life off of this shit, popping off and carrying on. That's how y'all got popular. Now all of a sudden it goes too far. It snowballed too far. You want to quit. Fuck that. All right? Fuck that. Like I said, you're married to the game. Now, with that said, people, if it does snowball too far and you get so agitated you want to fight, take that shit outside. Don't do it in the venue. All right? Don't do it in the venue. Because then it makes the venue look bad. It makes the tournament organizer look bad. It makes other players look bad. Actually, the entire community becomes stereotyped at that point. So, you want to fight? Take that shit outside. Okay? Now, let's talk about bans. Permanent bans. And I know y'all gonna hate this shit, but guess what? You gotta accept it. Fuck off. All right? Permanent bans will go to match fixing, permanent ban. Okay? Racism, permanent ban. Sexism, permanent ban. Sexual harassment or any type of assault, permanent ban. All right? Stealing or have a history of stealing, permanent ban. All right? Those who are already banned, you stay banned. You want to know why? I know somebody, oh, what the fuck? You want to know why? Because you're grown-ass men, and that's what you decide to do. You made those decisions. Now you got to live with them. It's that simple. I'm not trying to hear, well, look what happened with Mr. Wiz. I didn't do anything compared to what he did. This is not the lesser of two evils, motherfucker. Both of y'all have done this shit. Both of y'all got to go. Do you understand that? Fucking stupid. I hate when people try to play that shit. I didn't do nearly as bad as the other guy did. Fuck you, you both did bad. We're not playing the lesser of two. You're not doing it, okay? But those bans I told you there are simple common rules. I don't think there should be a problem with that. Y'all should be able to follow that. Y'all, unless y'all stealing, unless y'all sexually attacking women, unless you're using racism, unless you're using sexism, you know what I mean? Like, or match fixing or whatever. Like, these type of things, I don't think y'all should have a problem with that. That should be easy. You know what I mean? Now, let's talk about the TOs. Yeah, you motherfuckers. Yeah. Because some of y'all done got a little too big for yourselves, all right? Your shoutcasters and your staff need to have contracts and negotiate price. The reason I say this is because y'all got, oh, you called a guy a janitor last time. Look, this is with the contract, all right? This is to help people not have damn near slave wages. Do you understand that? That was my entire point of that. It's not to have slave wages. It's helping you out. Because I told you, the last time someone tried to yell at me over the computer, I saw the motherfucker working at 7-Eleven. I'm like, you acting like you was a FGC god. You working at 7-Eleven. Better get your shit right. get your life right instead of worrying about me. It's crazy. All I'm doing is trying to help, but y'all get all bent out of shape. I'm telling you what happened, all right? That's simple. You don't like it too fucking bad. But all y'all did was victim shame. That's what y'all did. Y'all blame the victim. Fuck out of here, man. Let's keep it moving. Shoutcasters, and staff need to have lunch breaks. TOs, you should supply water for their throats when they're sitting there for hours talking and shit, all right? And you should cover their flight fees, all right? You should. Talk insurance with them as well, because you never know, all right? I can see people now, what the fuck? This is business, right? This is business. This is how business is run. You understand that? Oh, I forgot. A lot of y'all don't know about business. So shut the fuck up, sit down, and listen. All right? TOs, if you act arrogant or you're not helpful, you will be reported to the Code of Conduct Committee. All right? That's simple. All right? However, TOs, if you feel threatened by a player, you have every right to have them escorted out by security and banned. Okay? If you feel threatened. Because you shouldn't have to go for that shit. This is the way you don't have to worry about getting into heated arguments with people. You feel as though you're being threatened or you don't want to deal with this shit, adios, out. All right? Security will escort them out. So you don't have to, get your hands dirty. That's how it works. However, let's move on, shall we? All right. Hold online, because let's be honest here, we're still in this pandemic, all right? Hold online tournaments and offline tournaments. Now, of course, you can't do that right now because of this pandemic. You can't do offline. But hold online tournaments as much as possible. This is what I mean. Y'all dropped the ball during this time. All right? You can still do it. There's some places who are still doing it, but they don't have enough. They need more recognition as well. Okay? So that's what you should be doing. Keeping the ball constantly moving. Keeping the ball. You want to get better. This is what this is about. It's about being better. It's not about staying stagnant. It's not about you feeling yourself. It's not about all that shit. We won't get into that right now, actually, all right? All right, so help each other out, tournament organizers. Help each other out, all right? This isn't about you having a gripe on some, if you have a gripe with somebody in the FGC. This isn't about competition. It's not about you having a stranglehold on your spot in the FGC. That's being greedy. You understand that? That's what you are right now, a greedy little bitch. You should be talking to smaller TOs. See what you can do. And this is what I'm talking about. No bias. If you are raising prices on small-time TOs because you or someone else doesn't like them, you will be reported as well to the Code of Conduct Committee. It's absolutely insane you would do that. You would try and squeeze a lot of money out of a small, upcoming, tournament organizer. And that goes for all tournament organizers across the board. Y'all should be in connect with each other all the time. There shouldn't be a problem. All right? It shouldn't. Have a union. We need to have this covered. Have a union so you are covered from venues trying to dictate your vision of what you want to do. I put it like this due to the fact that there's tournament organizers who will get on the phone and say, look, we want to run this, and this. And the venue will be like, nah, we want you to run this, and this. And then it's like, well, can we negotiate? Yeah, we'll negotiate. But then they fuck up and you miss out on some good shit. You know what I mean? Because they want a certain thing. Venues have to be able, and this is from conventions all the way down to whatever venue you rent out. If the venue you rent out, they don't give a fuck what you're doing as long as you don't tear shit up. 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna care. They ain't gonna have a say so in what in what games you do, what games you play. They don't give a fuck. But there's some of them out there who do. So you gotta watch yourselves with that. So definitely have a union for your tournament organizers and the staff. All right, they deserve it. All right. Also, I don't think I need to say this because TOs already know. Thank your players. At the end of it all, thank your players. Because without the players and without your staff too, you wouldn't have anything. All right? You wouldn't. And like I said, you should always be in contact with community managers as well. I want to talk about this for a minute. Because community managers are some of the most disrespectful, I would say, vanishing type of entity that they are. I've seen too much of it. I am done with it myself because it makes no sense to try and keep contacting a TO, which I've seen many players try and do, and they never get an answer. If you're not going to do your fucking job, then give it to somebody else who will do their job. If you don't believe me, this player not too long ago quit due to the fact, quit MK, because of the fact that he couldn't reach out to a community manager or nobody. Left out in the dust, he said, you know what, fuck this, I'm done. The sad part about this all is not just community managers, but that thread is more of the same kiddie bullshit, childish bullshit we've seen. Oh, good riddance, get out of here. No one likes you either. Oh, I don't know him. Oh, well, bye, we don't need you. That's not how you act. Who's this guy? That's not how you act. That's not how you act. If somebody is asking for help, someone should step in and first ask, what's the problem? Community member-wise. All right? What's the problem? And then talk to him from there. You can talk some people down off the ledge. You don't have to have them leave and say, goodbye, it's FGC versus the world, we don't need you anymore. That's bullshit. That's childish, and it shows that y'all are not ready for the big time. That's not how you talk to people. It's not how you treat people, all right? It's not when they're asking for help. It's one thing if they're being disrespectful as fuck, but when they're asking for help, you want to throw them under the bus. That's the worst move you can do. At this point, maybe there needs to be an ambassador for every subgroup at this point. You know what I mean? Maybe. For every game, there's someone you can come and talk to. And they can relay the message back to community manager. And like I said, community manager doesn't get back to you a certain amount of time, they should be reported to the right people and they should lose their damn job. Because if you don't have time to be a community manager, then what the fuck? What are you doing it for? You just want to put it on your resume? Is that it? Come on, man. That's not right. It's not right. But let's move on. All right? We want to talk about players real quick. Yeah, y'all got some rules too. Don't think y'all don't. So, players. All right? Just setting this up for y'all. Police each other. All right? Like I said, this is all blueprint. It can also be, fleshed out some more if y'all want and talk, amongst yourselves about it. But to police each other. TOs and staff and security at times cannot see everything. They can't. All right? Because they're too busy worried trying to get all this shit together and trying to make sure that you have a great experience in your playing, in your tournament. That's what they do. Okay? So if you have to go to the bathroom, all right, or something, you need to let someone know. All right? Yourself. All right? We're not doing this, well, I'm going to have a third party speak for me. Can you tell them that I'm going to the bathroom? No, we're not having that. You go to someone on staff or the TO themselves and you tell them, okay? Next, because we've seen this issue now with Evo and having this problem with, fixing pools and all this type of stuff, and the examples I gave you before, okay? From now on, all right, players, you get 10 minutes. You get 10-minute break. You get 10 minutes to be late for your match. 10 minutes. That's it. 10 minutes. You're not there, you're gone. I don't care if you come in 11 minutes. You missed it. All right? And that goes for everyone across the board. I don't care how popular you are, how famous you are. I don't give a fuck. All right? If you're not there on time, you lose your challenge. It's that simple. You lose your matchup. You're disqualified. All right? 10 minutes. This is how it keeps the reason I say 10 minutes is because it makes the tournament go faster. Because you have to think, the staff wants to eat, they want to have something to drink, they need a break every once in a while. You cannot do this to TOs and staff players. You can't. All right? But more. All right? Players, if you're acting violent, tell a TO, or you see someone acting violent, tell a TO or security. All right? That's what you can do. All right? There's no reason why it needs to get that bad over video games. If someone loses and get hot and want to get mad, that shouldn't be a thing. It really shouldn't, y'all. It really shouldn't. So, for real, try to keep it cool, all right? I will say, the only time that there should be a third party involved is if you're too heated when you're talking to somebody and you have a third, person perspective says, no, let me, then tries to be the moderator or mediator, I should say, the referee to calm things down, because it doesn't need to get that way. Y'all all know the rules before going into the tournament, right? So there should be no complaining afterwards. All right, here's a big one. Bring your own fucking controller. Now look, I know a lot of you have your own controllers. A lot of you have your own fight sticks. Y'all religious with it. I get it. I understand that. But there are still some people who rely on TOs and staff to supply them with controllers. That's bullshit. If you're not prepared, why are you here? Why? It's ridiculous. All right? The only time controllers should be out there if you're having some type of free play session or whatever. But then again, 9 times out of 10, players come along and hook their own shit up anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter. Do people a favor and bring your own shit. Even if you think there's a chance. Hey, I may play a game. I may jump into a tournament, you know what I mean, or something. Ain't that hard to put a controller in your bag. If you want to put a fight stick in your bag, that's a whole different story. But you should know this. And I know people. I know when you're getting on flights. I know how it feels when you put your fight stick through the fucking conveyor belt so it can be scanned and they don't know what the fuck it is. And then you have to explain shit and possibly open it up to them so they can see it's not a bomb. Trust me. Been there. Done that for years. It's pathetic. I know. It's strenuous. I know. But this is the things that you do and you have to sacrifice and deal with when you want to play with your own shit. You should want to do it because that's what you've been practicing on. That's what you're comfortable with. Oh my God. Players, I know y'all going to hate this one too, but it needs to be done because we've seen a spike in it not too long ago. You need to be tested. That's right. You need to be tested. We've seen people pop all types of medicines, to help, actually gives them an advantage of playing the games. They make them focus more. We've seen people that are on steroids and shit. Like, look, all this nasty shit, unless you have a doctor's note that says it's okay for you to have because you have a condition or something, then no, you got to be tested. You have to be tested. And you should get your tests in before come tournament time, not the day of. No, make sure it's right. And I know y'all freaking the fuck out. Say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. Then stay the fuck out then. Like I said, y'all had y'all chance to do it the way y'all wanted to do it. And it didn't get you anywhere. You didn't ascend anywhere. You understand that? After everything that's happened so far this year, it makes you look like a bunch of jackasses. And it's not me saying this. I'm saying this because the rest of the communities of gaming are looking at y'all and saying they're fucking idiots. It's not me saying it. It's them saying it. But as you saw earlier in this video, I will go to bat for y'all. We're not going to have people like Shoe on Head or the fan servers do talk shit to y'all. Fuck them. So don't think I'm not going to just sit here and just, bag on you as well. I'm the protecting you as well. They got no reason to say shit. Let them stay in their lane. But we're going to move on. All right? Players, make sure that you promote your tournaments. All right? And thank your tournament organizers and staff. Can you do that? Is that possible? Because that's the only way this thing gets bigger. All right? You can't rely on pop-offs, people recording pop-offs like back in the day and say, hey, that looks like a good tournament I want to be at. That's what's going to keep me in business. No, it was childish then. It's childish now. Except this time, I would say you should be able to pop off. But for those who don't understand what I'm saying, okay, I'll give you an example. When I was in Atlanta and them MK boys came to play, I brought them all over and was like, I want to talk to all y'all. I was sitting at the desk. Come here. I want to talk to y'all. I said, do you all know each other? They was like, yeah, sure. I said, okay, let me tell you something. Since y'all know each other, y'all can talk y'all shit and act up towards each other because y'all know each other. It's like sitting on the couch with your mans and playing and talking shit. I don't have a problem with that. But when you have other people that you don't know, you can't do that with. It got to a point where when one player was supposed to play another player, he decided he was too scared to play him. So he left. No bullshit. Left the tournament. Unreal. And you think to yourself, oh, it's just a game. What you sign up for a tournament for if you got scared or whatever? It's a game. Yeah, I get it. But got scared and left. So it goes to show you that you have to be careful of who you're around. Just because the audience is like, ooh, that don't mean shit. All right? You can't do that. You got to know who you're dealing with. So let's keep it moving, all right? Players, you need to have your own union, all right? You need to have your own union. Like I said, promote your games, promote your matches at said venue, connect the venue and everything and the tournament organizer and everything to show that you care, all right? That's what you should be doing. But, all right, you need to have your own union. Players, I say this due to the fact that this will protect you in the long run. Because, let's be, especially from bad contracts. Sponsors and everything. Let's be honest here. We have seen a number of NBA athletes come in and say, we're going to take esports to the next level. Right? And they got all this money to do it. In this case, they're the team owners. Where do you think they got their money from? What do you think they got? They got a players association so that the team owners can't get over on you. Technically, in esports, you are the athletes. Athletes who are your team owners are making all this fucking money. How much you making? How much you making? I heard Overwatch was giving what? Somebody with $15,000 a year or something like that? $15,000. You can go to work at McDonald's and get more money than that. You understand that? Per year. You understand that? You have to make sure that your contracts are right. And as a bonus, all these contracts between players and teams and TOs and staff and all and players and such that, look, it all has to be approved first by the committee. And I say this because I almost forgot what I was going to say. The community, the committee, I'm sorry, the Code of Conduct Committee. That's what they need to be, they need to handle that. We will talk about that in a minute. But I need to talk to y'all players about one thing, and that's media. The FGC, it needs its own media, all right? And I mean something that's reliable, because none of these places are that you swear by is reliable. You don't believe me? Look at this tweet real quick. So as you can see, Event Scrubs is not, they're not covering a lot of shit. And it's funny because some of you motherfuckers came after me and was like, look, they got something on Event Hubs, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, who the fuck goes to Event Scrubs? Who goes there? If anything, I'm laughing at you for sending me there. The fuck is wrong with you? Like, you should know by now that these places are not 100% on your side. You're going to have to take this in your own hands. You're going to have your own writers. You're going to have your own photographers. You're going to have your own websites. You're going to have your own YouTubers. No bias, no shills. You need the right media. You know what I'm saying? Because these places, they'll just walk all over you. Like I said, they didn't even cover the stories the way they were supposed to be covered. No media outlet did. None of them. So they all made them look bad. Top players that wouldn't want to say shit. People only want to pick parts of the truth or pick, let's talk about Mr. Wiz and only talk about Mr. Wiz. What the fuck is wrong with you? There's all this shit going on as I presented to you today and you want to just talk about Mr. Wiz. The fuck is wrong with you? Like I said, these dudes is on fumes compared to me. Like I said, your fave would never. They would never attempt this type of shit. And you need to start looking at them now. And like I said, let's not forget the people who were in on this as well when it comes to Mr. Wiz. And you look at their asses too. High profile people, better start looking at them. Better start asking questions. Better start digging. But Code of Conduct Committee, because I just talked about it. Now, may not like this, but it's going to be done. So, the Code of Conduct Committee, this is how it goes, all right? Code of Conduct Committee, you have to be outsiders of the FGC to judge the behavior, all right? So there's no bias, there's no friends, none of that shit. They're not allowed to be a friend of a TO or a player or whatever, organizer or a venue like that. No, they have to be outsiders. People from the real world coming in, and when they're brought something, they have to be able to be able with a blank slate to say, hey, this is bad behavior. We're not going to accept it. People, like I said, people will not deal with that shit. You know what I mean? And the reason I say this is because, like I said, Smash had a Code of Conduct Committee, but they knew the top players, so they were in on it as well. They were in on it as well. So they were just letting the shit go. We cannot have that. Outsiders have to be part of that committee. It's only fair, so there's no bias. Okay? Also, there's more. That's right. You cannot, okay, well, we did the Friends of TO and all. They need to have a background check as well from the Code of Conduct Committee. They need to, all right? So, outsiders need to be checked, just like the rest of the players need to be checked, or staff needs to be checked, or TOs need to be checked. Everyone needs to be checked so that we know it's a safe environment for all of you. Because that's what y'all been saying the whole time, right? We need a safer environment. We need a safer environment. That's all I keep hearing. We need a safer environment. Between the shooting and all this sexual harassment and sexual assault, we need a safer environment. Well, I'm giving you the blueprint. Like I said, the stuff can be messed around with and you know, fleshed out some more, but I'm giving you the basics here. Jesus Christ. Also, reviewing contracts, as I said before, all review contracts have to go through the committee first. Okay? TO, the staff, players, the whatever team they're on, it all has to be looked at first and given okayed. And I don't care if you got to get it stamped by a notary. Do it. Also, I'm sure you're going to ask me, Event, why did you get us all this stuff? I don't like your rules and all this. If you don't understand everything that I have told you today is the bigger picture of something to come to make it easier on everyone. And that even means even your TOs. You want to see your TOs do good, right? You want to see your players do better, right? Because you like them. You're fans of them. So you want to see them get better and being taken care of for the rest of their career. And even when they decide to retire, still be able to have money, right? That's what you want. You want your TOs to still be able to generate that money and without loss. Can anyone tell me, before I say anything, everything I've given you, can you tell me why I gave you these rules and all this information today? Not just because no one else is doing it like me, but do you understand what this all pushes towards, right? Anyone? No? All right. I'll tell you why. Because of federal and state funding for you. You get your ducks lined up in a row and sign up for it, you're going to get the money for it. Do you not understand this? This is the bigger plan. This is how you get bigger. This is how you get exposure. Funding, federal funding, or state funding. You would say, Event, how are we going to do this? I'll give you 2 examples of bullshit funding that the state and federal whatever have given. All right, so let me tell you. Did you know that the federal government spent $700,000 to build a football field for inmates in Guantanamo Bay? Did you know that? $700,000 for that. All right, to build them, the prisoners, a football field. So you call soccer, but whatever. All right. $700,000. All right. Next one. All right. Federal, was it the U.S. National Institution of Health spent $340 to study the behavior. Y'all ready? The study behavior of male prostitutes in Vietnam. Do you understand all this money going to bullshit? You know what I'm gonna do? In the description field, I'm going to put a link there from 2018, so it's only been 2 years, all right? 18 of the most ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous things, they have spent money on. So, think about it. They're spending money on studies for prostitution, male prostitution in Vietnam. They're spending $700,000 for a football field for inmates. Are you going to tell me that the FGC couldn't get a bit of that money? Are you going to tell me that? As hard as staffs work, as hard as TOs work, as much hard work that players put in to be there and compete, y'all going to tell me that none of y'all deserve a piece of that money? Is that what you're going to say? I told you, there's always a bigger plan. The problem is, you got a bunch of people right now at the top feeling themselves too much, and they trying to act like rock stars instead of actually making things better. And that goes from your TOs to your players. So who's really about it? That's what I want to know. Who is really about it? Because right now, it's not looking like they are. And y'all need to start calling on it too. But I guess y'all going to say, no, Vent, you hating, dude. My dude, no, I don't agree with all this and fuck you and all this. All right, well then point me to somebody else that's going to do it like me. Like I said, Max ain't going to do the shit. Max too busy worried about his bottom line with One Angry Gamer. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. One Angry Gamer put out a troll list and put Max on there saying he's against America, and Max got all bent out saying, fuck you, dude, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, he's trolling you. How do you not see this? People were lining up to say, put me on the list, put me on the list. Max gonna get all bent out of shape over that shit. He's worried about himself. There's not one YouTuber on here who has gone the distance that I've gone when it comes to helping y'all. And every time I try to help y'all and give truth, what y'all do, the same old bullshit tactics. I don't like what he's saying. I'm gonna try and flag this shit down. Let's get a mass flag going. Let's curse him out and troll him. That's all y'all fucking do. But y'all never have any answers to any real shit. And when y'all turn and look at the other guys who are, that you praise so much, they quiet as shit. I ain't having that. They quiet. They quiet as a motherfucker. But y'all cool with that, right? Like I said, y'all not doing things right because y'all had it y'all way and it failed. It failed. And you have to look at this as a failure. But it's fine. You say you don't fail because we still here. I said in the beginning, y'all still here. The FGC is not dead. It's not. But we need to rebuild. Because this absolutely destroyed it. All these sexual allegations and all this coming out. And pedophilia coming out. People, I'm not even going to put in links in here to show you how many other articles have tried to slam y'all. I mean, slam you. And not just you now anymore. Now they're taking it to the whole, well, it's gamers now. Because especially after what happened with Ubisoft not too long ago. So, this is just going to get worse. But you have to fight back. You do it calculated. You get the federal money, the grants and shit. Then you can really do it. Like you want to do it. But it seems like everyone's just worried about themselves. I'll just run this tournament this way, and I'll do it for years this way, and nothing will change. It'll just stay stagnant and hope that a bunch of people will pop off for entertainment. If y'all thought that was the end game, then y'all are fucking, I mean, just fucking, I want to say the R word. I'm not going to. You're just fucking stupid. How about that? You're just fucking stupid. And no, I'm not trying to take your fun away from you. All right? I'm not. You can still play and pop off. Like I said, up to a tournament, organized discretion. It's up to them. I'm not saying you got to shut it all down. It's okay to pop off. Y'all know each other. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. You know? Be happy that you won. Just don't start getting up and pushing people and grabbing people and shit. The fuck wrong with you? We started not too long ago. That girl grabbed that dude. When you grabbing him, you motherfucker. No, you can't be putting your hands on people like that unless you expect an ass whooping. So, yes. Y'all should know by now. This is how it is. I am tired of also seeing exploitation. Because for those who don't know, we've seen enough. Like I said, we already talked about the racism. We haven't gotten to exploitation. Now, if you haven't realized, because of everything that's going on with these protests, we got a lot of journalists now coming out and be like, yeah, so we're going to show y'all how we like black people. Fuck you. All right? You're not going to use us for your agenda. You're not. It's that simple. Yeah, well, the FGC has so much diversity and blah, blah, blah. Look, the FGC doesn't have diversity. You know what they have? They have people who are of all different races, and they throw them to the forefront and say, look, we're not racist or we're not sexist. That's what they do. But do they ever listen, actually, to your experiences, where you came from to get to this point? Nah. They just shoot you down on that one. So as far as I'm concerned, we don't have diversity. You're not willing to hear people out unless you like them so much. But, like I said, I'll put a link in the info bar, or should I say, description field, about, you know, not just racism, but girls. This is a little hard for me because I'm a man and I can't say but so much on the on the whole thing. Women are coming out, black women are coming out and saying that the FGC is treating them like shit. Yeah, and that we should all be ashamed of ourselves, and you have no how hard it's been for them to get, you know, where they're at, and this is the reason why they have like a ladies' night type thing, and it just the list just goes on, dude. And I'm just reading this article like, you gotta kid me. Now I know a lot of you gonna say that's bullshit because you've never disrespected a woman or looked at you know a black woman and said, oh, she can't play. You're just play for yourself. You know what I mean? You're trying to win. I get that. You know what I mean? And same thing with me. I've always seen women play and never discriminated. You know what I mean? I'm talking back in the arcade days. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, this coming up and them making these claims, it probably is true for them. You know, depending on where they played and, you know, who they talked to. But I've seen a number of women, you know, play in tournament and be really good. Especially if you were following the under-night scene before it got big. A number of women playing. So, as far as I'm concerned, I don't like to hear that type of thing. But we also can't dismiss it as well. You need to take it head on the right way. You know? That's what it comes down to. But like I said, I'm done for the day. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. And you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to have something to drink. Y'all have fun with that shit. You know what I mean? Because as far as I'm concerned, like I said, your fave would never. And you would think that you would, you know, appreciate that and salute me for that. But nah. Y'all gonna find a reason to get mad. Because y'all always do. Because the truth, you really don't want. That's what it is. Every time I bring the truth, you really don't want. Like I said, I show you screens. I gave you, I'm put the links in the description field. It is what it is. And I'm telling you now, all right? All these people, I'm telling you now, anybody else that supports the U.S. Army esports because they were trying to get you, and the U.S. Navy esports, and they were trying to get you, you trying to come to Philly, nah, I'm letting it be known now. I don't give a fuck who you like, all right? You want to be, no, this is my city. This is my city. I'm the one that's going to confront you. I've confronted you already many a times over the weeks. Don't think I won't do it in person either, all right? And that's not to you players. I'm talking about to the people who want to link up with the Army. So if you want to hold another organization wants to do that, guess what? Fuck you. That's simple. We're trying to keep them out so they don't, try to take advantage of kids. That's the entire point of all this. Players were taking advantage of kids. Mr. Wiz took advantage of kids. We don't need the U.S. Army or the U.S. Navy taking advantage of kids. Until then, I will talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. Have fun. But don't forget what's going on. Speak out on it. That's what it is. Take task to these things that I've given you. These tools I've given you. That's what it's about. Because guess what? Event Scrubs ain't going to cover this. SRK ain't going to cover this. Fuck SRK for being racist anyway. All right? For those who don't know, rest in peace, Shatta. I'm telling you this now. All right? For those who don't remember, all right, about this whole racism problem. SRK thought that me and Shatterstar were the same person when Shatterstar was over there. Shatterstar got to a point where he had to show his face next to my face to show us that we're not the same. Because they thought it was me. I wasn't over in SRK. That's not me. You know what I mean? And then when he showed them, side by side who we were, SRK members was like, well, all black people look alike anyway, so it doesn't matter. Racist. Fuck SRK. Fuck Event Scrubs. It's time for a new shit. Like I said, destroy and rebuild. And that's what needs to happen. And if you're not going to get on the same page as others, then get the fuck out. Don't need you. Y'all have a good weekend.